men's basketball takes a step forward in NEC play. We take a look at their actions.
And we're going to move over to the ice. Special guest analyst CJ Buckeye here to break down men's hockey and their season so far.
All that and more coming up on Colonial Sports Center. Welcome to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Ian Kiss, alongside me, my partner, Rashad Christian. And now we're going to head to Emmitsburg, Maryland, as we get some news of the men's basketball team as they took on the Mount St. Mary's, that is. And they have fell for the second straight game. They blew another double-digit lead, and they fell today 48-47. And the Colonials had a chance at the end of the game, but Kayvon Stewart threw the ball out of bounds, ruining any chances of a comeback.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that first 10-point lead earlier in the season later on. But yeah, I mean, this is just unforgivable, honestly. Halftime, they came out of halftime fired. This hurts. This is the win that they needed to sort of get back on track. I know if they won, they would have been 8-13. It's still a bad record, but
and before in our prep, we were watching the game, and we saw the Colonials stay with the Mount in the early parts of the game, but then second half came out firing and it slowed.
Yep,
and it hurt them once again.
Yep. Speaking of men's basketball, coming off of 74-67 win against Central Connecticut State, the men's basketball team faced off against the Bryant Bulldogs just 2 days later. They've only been able to win 2 games in a row once this season. They do it again. We're going to jump right into it with an Aaron Tate putback dunk off the Kayvon Stewart miss. We're going to look at it in slow-mo. It looks pretty good, even better than usual. Aaron Tate going up pretty strong with that. Isaiah Still is able to kick it out to Lorenzen Wright Jr., rattles it around a little bit, and finally goes in. But the threes would not stop there. Manny McConnell able to hit it from the left wing. He would end the night with only 3 points. That would be his only bucket of the night. Again, we see Lorenzen Wright, another three-pointer. He would end the night with 8 points and 2 made threes. And we see Kayvon Stewart able to take it to the inside, go up to the rack, and finish, playing like the biggest man on the court, even though he's probably the smallest. Now, like we mentioned before, RMU had a 10-point lead in this game, but we see here a mix of offensive rebounds and inside scoring got Bryant back into this game, and Isaiah Still had a chance to tie and win the game, but he misses, and according to the replay and to the refs, it went off the Colonials, but at further review, the Bulldogs.
The Colonials saw a 12-point second half lead slip away in the later parts of regulation, as you saw, as they fall from a first half shooting percentage of 39.7% to 34.6% in the second half. A player the Colonials looked for quality scoring, sophomore Isaiah Still had a disappointing game, only making 2 of 11 attempted shots and missed a go-ahead 3-point shot with 30 seconds left on the clock. And a women's basketball team got back to action Saturday against Bryant Bulldogs, trying to get a nasty taste of their 15-point loss to St. Francis 5 days before out of their mouths. To the Chuck. We won't be saying that for a lot more time on the show, but we see Janae Brown drives in, on a Nikki looks, takes it up, does not take the 3-point shot, and Megan Smith, Colonials on the perimeter, gets it to Jalen Burton-Jones. It makes the swoosh nothing but net, and we're going to head to the third quarter. And Anna and Nikki Stambo Lamprou, the Michaela Mulrain back out, and Shakima Dashiel with the 3-point shot, and the Colonials have found a little bit of a rhythm. And Rebecca Navarro picks up the loose ball, takes it, and does the rest herself. Doesn't let the defender scare her.
Yeah.
And Rebecca Navarro, the senior, again, jump shot contested, nothing but net. And then we're going to see Anna Nikki make a move, and we're going to see Anna Nikki Stambo Lamprou take over this game, as we are going to see her in the next few plays here, just doing anything she could put up, not necessarily knowing where that shot was going to go, and then a jumper, no hesitation.
It was a slow start for both teams, but a second half surge was all the Colonials needed to come away with a win. Senior Rebecca Navarro contributed 9 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, and even a technical foul when she scuffled with Kiera Palmer of Bryant. Anna Nikki scored 20 points on 8 of 15 shooting. And on her way to yet another 20-point game, she moved into 3rd place on the RMU women's all-time scoring list with 1,570 points. But the season isn't done, and neither is Anna Nikki. 2 days after an impressive win over Bryant, the Colonials headed back to the court for a conference matchup against Central Connecticut State. Could they finally get their 10th win of the year? I'm excited to find out, so let's go right into the highlights.
Back to the Chuck, my favorite place.
Back to the Chuck. I'm sad to see it go. Here we go. Against the Blue Devils, not of Duke, of Central Connecticut. Easy bucket there inside by Michaela Moraine, followed by a baseline jumper by Anna Nikki. She had a big night, 11 points. And she's able to find Rebecca Navarro in the corner. Been heating up lately. Rebecca Navarro playing well. As we see here, we're going to see the entire play on the defensive end. Anna Nikki able to come away with the steal, take it coast to coast. Find Rebecca for that three. Bang. Here we go. We see here Rebecca getting the ball again, showing off her full set of skills, able to come off the pick and
give it to the hot hand.
Give it to the high and able to come off the dribble and drain a shot. Here we see Shakima able to hit a three.
She's had some great games. Yeah. Take some good looks.
Name we don't talk about a lot here, but we see here Michaela Moraine inside. RMU was able to exploit that weak interior defense by CCSU, and then the threes started raining. First, Anna Nikki with a three, and then Rebecca Navarro somehow open. Don't know how CCSU continues to leave her open until finally, in clutch time, Anna Nikki's able to deliver.
RMU used a 21-point fourth quarter in which they outscored the Blue Devils 21-12 to take down CCSU and hand them their second conference loss. The Colonials were paced by junior Megan Smith's 14 points and 8 rebounds. Senior Anna Nikki Stanley-Lamprey also finished the game in double figures, scoring with 11 points. As a team, Robert Morris shot 32.2% from the field, making 19 of 59 shots. RMU will be back in action this Saturday in Emmitsburg, Maryland, where the men just played, when they tip off at 1 p.m. against Mount St. Mary's.
He asked and she answered. Former CSC host turned producer Sam Anthony was able to sit down with senior guard Anna Nikki Stanley-Lamprey in regards to her late game performance against the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils. Let's take a listen.
I mean, it was a play that we've been working on the past few days,
Sure.
2 months basically, and we actually went through it and stood around, and we actually ran the play a few times during the game, but the ball went to Becca in the other side, so Coach B knew we were all expecting that it's gonna hack Becca in the corner, so somebody's gonna be open, so I sprayed my hardest, and Megan did a great job setting the screens, and I did a great job setting up the offense, and this happened to take this out, go in, and that was it.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We saw the clip from Anna Nikki, but when we come back, CJ Bacall, men's beat writer for CentralMedia.com, will be here to go over some clips of men's hockey, and we'll have an interview with the 3 captains of the women's lacrosse team when we come back.
What happened?
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones
Don't even.
and explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. From the court to the ice, the men's hockey team had a chance to extend their winning streak to 6 games of Friday's matchup against the Air Force Falcons.
Yep.
To the 84 Lumber Arena. The ticker says third period, but it's actually the first period.
Little mistakes in the graphics end.
It's all right. It's okay.
all right, yeah.
But then Air Force gets on the board early, and they take the 1-0 lead. And then with about under 5 minutes to go in it's the first period, they extend their lead, get the puck right past Marat. We're going to take a second look at it here. We're actually going to take another look at it here, right through the 5-hole, and we're gonna talk to our hockey beat writer about this.
The hockey specialist.
Just a couple minutes here, but then Daniel Levin just hits the puck, just taking jabs at it, and gets the Colonials on the board, 2-1. Falcons still. But then this turns into we see the goal to the Falcons show. RMU scored another goal, but then Air Force takes over. Dalton Isaac gives up another goal. He's in for Marat. I can't get my words out right
It's
now.
all right, Ian.
4-2. And then they make it 5-2. Marat gets beat again right here on the wraparound. And not a good night for the Colonials.
It was their worst loss of the year scoring-wise, as Air Force had their way with the Colonials. Despite getting off 36 shots, RMU was only able to score twice. Luke Lynch and Daniel Levins contributed a goal each, while 6 different Air Force players registered a goal. Important thing to note, last time they were outscored by at least 3 goals was against Dartmouth, and they were able to come back to life in their next game against Sacred Heart and win 4-2. So could they do the same thing here? Game 2 was the game that the Colonials needed to prove that they were the good team that they sought out to be. So exactly 24 hours later, RMU took the ice against Air Force with an eye on the prize and a mindset stuck on revenge. Ian, walk us through what happened.
Unlike their game 24 hours before, the Colonials were unable to keep the Falcons in check, holding them to only 1 goal. Sophomore Alex Tunge was RMU's only goal scorer, getting the biscuit past Air Force's Billy Christopoulos twice. Francis Marat rebounded nicely from the night before as he earned the win and helped keep his squad in the game with a 23-save performance. Robert Morris will head on the road to battle Holy Cross in Massachusetts this Friday and Saturday in a 2-game weekend series. Now you see CJ Bacall, the RMU beat writer for the men's hockey team. We're going to go over some game footage as the Colonials did not have a great. They rebounded Saturday, but not the best performance Friday with that 6-2 loss.
Yep.
And now, CJ, the first clip we're going to see here is setting screens and how important that is.
That's part of the Colonials game plan here. And that's just what they focus on doing. You're going to see here, Ferguson's going to take the puck. It's going to go down into the corner here. It's going to get picked up by Levins, who's going to give it to Dorowitz back to Israel. Now look at Luke Lynch right in front of the net here. He's setting a perfect screen right through the 5-hole, Israel with the goal. That's what we're talking about here for these Colonials. And now you got Mann, the captain, against Quinnipiac at the Three Rivers Classic. 3 men out front and right into the left. It's just perfect, and that's what you need from your captain now. You need the screens up front and the goals in the back of the net.
And now let's talk about crashing the net.
That is important. When it comes to screening, you need people in front of the net to get these goals here. And what you're going to see is Graham's going to get hit. He's going to get right back up. Sees that puck, takes it, buries it. AIC doesn't even get a chance.
What would you say is more important, setting the screens or crashing the net?
Both. They're equally important because even right here, Levens is going to see this. Easy save, but he's just going to whack at it and get it back in. Goalie couldn't see it to begin with, made the lucky save, and then Levens just took it and put it right back into the net.
Yep.
That was an easy save by Ohio State, and Levens turned that into a point for the Colonials.
Now let's talk about defensive end attack for this squad.
A strong forecheck is needed at the NCAA level and the NHL level. And you're going to see Luke Lynch here pressuring the puck with Mantenuto going as well. Graham's going to come up, get the epic poke check. Mantenuto's going to go around the net, and he's going to go backdoor to Graham here. Look at this pass. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The forecheck was there. Graham saw it, put it in the net. Here's Graham again. He's going to lift the stick, take it. No one notices that he even grabbed it right behind the goalie before he even gets a chance to get a look at this puck. It's just phenomenal playing by the Colonials right now. They're playing like a true top 20 team.
That's good. That's
Well, CJ, we thank you for coming on the show and
Thank you.
going over the plays. Now, the women's hockey team will look to build off of their last win over Lindenwood when they headed north of the 84 Lumber Arena for their first game of the weekend Friday evening against the Mercyhurst Lakers in Erie, Pennsylvania. Colonials, Lakers, always good matches between these two teams. Kind of a rival. We're going to see it here. Jessica Dodds denying a Lakers goal, and then we're going to see it again. The Lakers setting something up setting up a play, but denied again by the senior goaltender.
Playing out of her mind right now.
In the third period, the Colonials battling, trying to get on the board, trying to get something to go. Tied still at 0-0. It is about halfway, 12 minutes remaining. J.C. Gebhardt gives it to Kristen Welsh, who fires it in and is 1-0 Colonials. Now, the Lakers did get on the board after this with a minute to go. We're going to send it to overtime. And the puck's going to be sent down, but here's a big play by the senior goaltender, Jessica Dawes, who sends it firing down off the boards. And Amanda Panaleo is going to send it to Meave Garvey, who ends the game for the Colonials. 2-1, a big conference win over Mercyhurst. It took 2 periods and 8 minutes of the third period, but the Colonials finally found the net to take the 1-0 lead. But the Lakers sent the game to overtime with a minute remaining in regulation when they scored their first goal of the game. Fortunately for Robert Morris, they were able to receive the winning goal from Meave Garvey to give them the huge conference victory. Jessica Dodds earned her second straight victory in as many games between the pipes, making 15 saves on the evening. Robert Morris and the Lakers were back on the ice the very next day.
The Colonials have won 7 of their last 8 games, with their last loss being against Lindenwood. They look to push their win streak to 3 games for the 4th time this season. The outcome they got was good and bad. The game would end in a 3-3 tie, as we see here. Back-to-back overtime games can weigh on a team, and the Colonials are no exception. Despite a strong 2-goal second period, RMU was unable to finish off Mercyhurst in regulation when Paige Horton of Mercyhurst scored a goal with 17:04 left in the third period. Brittany Howard and J.C. Gebhardt continue their strong individual play as Howard finished the game with a goal and Gebhardt had a goal and assist. Both player point totals now sit over 33.
When we come back from break, like we promised, Adam Burdine will be in studio with the 3 captains of the women's lacrosse team, and then we will also get some little info on the men's lacrosse team. Stay tuned.
I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. I'm here with the women's lacrosse captains, Katie Breeze, Megan Wolfgang, and Dana Davis. So you guys have 11 new players, 10 freshmen, and 1 transfer. How do you think that will change the dynamic of the team?
I think we have a really young team this year, and it's really going to be beneficial to have some new girls coming off the bench, and I think we're going to have a deeper bench this year than we have in years past.
So like you said, you do have a young team, but you also have 20 returning players. Do you think that will affect how you guys play as a whole?
I think we have some really experienced players, and so I think that'll help mesh with the freshmen coming in and the transfer, and so I think we'll play really well together.
If you guys could each give one piece of advice to the new players, what would that be?
Honestly, just have fun and make the most of your college career.
Like, just do what you want to, do what you can.
Are there any freshmen that you guys expect to have a big performance this season?
I think Annie Sachs is going to have a really big performance this year. I think she showed a lot in the preseason and in the fall. I think we're going to see a lot out of her.
So coming up on your season, what have you guys been doing in the off season to prepare for it?
We've definitely been working on our speed and agility. This is very important to have when coming in. I think just working on all the things that we didn't have last year that we want to improve on this year.
So like you said, looking back to last season, how else do you think that you can improve for this upcoming season?
I think just being confident in ourselves and in our ability, especially in the big games where we need to be. And I think just being consistent all the time.
So all three of you are captains. What does that mean to each of you to have been chosen to lead your team?
I know that we all lead by different, we all have different leadership styles. I think we all work well together, so between the three of us, being so different and being from backgrounds of the leadership we've been to, it just brings more to our leadership because we know what not to do or what we didn't like as underclassmen.
And because of that, do you think that you're able to show that to the underclassmen so that they'll be able to be like that as well as they move up in the program?
I think we have. I think we're definitely taking some things that we really liked when we were underclassmen and things that we didn't like as much and really using the combination of the two and showing them what the best of both worlds are.
Yeah. So what are some goals that each one of you have personally?
Personally, this year I really want to be a leader on the attacking side of the ball and really see how much we can capitalize on that side.
For me, obviously, I play defense, so being a leader, a strong leader down there, and just helping the team get as far as we can this season.
I agree with both of them. As a junior, I'm sort of just here to do whatever the team needs me to do so that we can win.
All right, thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for a little bit on the men's lacrosse team.
Neat, huh? It's the most advanced car on the road. All four wheels independently sprung. Torsion bar suspension, the greatest. The engine, air-cooled, so you never have to worry about boiling over or freezing. And it's in the rear for better traction. Stick shift, naturally. 4 forward gears. Bucket seats, well, what else? You can have it made up with a custom body like this for, $5,000, $6,000. Or you can have the same chassis with this slightly more familiar body for a lot less money. It's called a Volkswagen.
Bo, we got it. You got what? We found a way to put Simonized car wax and Simonized car cleaner all in one push-button can.
And just how does it work, Professor Nitwit?
Come on, we'll show you.
Come on, we'll show you. Come on,
Now look, it squirts on. You push the button. See? And then what? You spread it around and let it dry.
And it's really Simonized, is it?
Watch this.
Sure, it's Simonized. Look at that shine.
We'll be famous. We'll make a fortune. We'll call it Instant Simonized.
Instant Simonized, you lame brains. You can already buy Instant Simonized everywhere.
Instant Simonized? They thought of it too?
Simonized thinks of everything. Try Instant Simonized, another easy new way to brighten your day. From Simonized Company.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Colonial Sports Center. Thank you again, Adeline Verdine, for coming on and doing that fantastic interview with the captains of the women's lacrosse team. Now, there are only 2 days until the men's lacrosse team plays their first exhibition of the season. Here is field reporter Nick Milliron with a season preview.
With just 2 weeks until a fresh season for the Robert Morris men's lacrosse team, the team already has its eyes set on a journey to the big tournament.
We're really hoping to make a good run in the NEC. Hoping to go positive in our conference and win the NEC championship and get to the NCAA tournament.
Our whole philosophy is we're going to put our best product on the field every single day. So we're going to compete to win a conference championship, get to the NCAA tournament, and then it's a new season from there. So that's been the goal of our program for a few years now that our guys have come up with, and we're certainly trying to make sure that we steer in that direction to be the top team in the conference and get to go to the big dance.
With a mix of quality young freshmen, coupled with an experienced back line, the team is in prime form to make a big splash this season.
Freshman, I think you should look out for Austin Popovich. He's a big offensive midi. He plays the ball, plays really good offense. Another freshman is Trey Arnold, our face-off guy. He definitely make an impact this year.
I think Alex is really primed and ready to go to play this season and be the full-time guy as of now. So with him having the consistency from last year and then the rest of our defensive personnel, in the exact same scenario that they've just had that experience. They've had a lot more run-through. Style of play makes us a little bit more vulnerable at times on the defensive end. We like to push the pace and play transition, so we are going to have goals scored against us, but going to try to make sure we're scoring more than we're giving up, obviously.
Only time will tell how the year will play out. I'm Nick Milliron, Colonial Sports Center.
Thank you, Nick Milliron, for that fantastic package and a few interviews there. Fantastic footage. Now we're going to look into our upcoming games for this weekend.
Friday, January 27th, women's hockey at Syracuse. A big matchup for them at 7.
Game.
Big matchup there.
Yeah.
Colonials are number 1 and the Orange are number 2. So we can't emphasize, how big that is going to be for, Brittany Howard, the goaltenders, to come with their A game.
Yeah, not to mention women's hockey is still trying to keep their 7th spot nationally. So this is, we can't emphasize that enough. This is a huge game, especially in conference and even out of conference where Syracuse won't have much of an impact on when it's hockey. Now,
more hockey for the men's side at Holy Cross at 7:05. Holy Cross kind of gives them a little bit of a tough time in recent past. So, see how the Colonials come out, and hopefully it's not like a, first game of a series.
Yeah.
Like, and like we said, CJ told us how the offense will need to operate like they did it against the Falcons in Friday's game. So we'll see how the Colonials come out this Friday.
Yeah, I was looking at the men's hockey schedule, and the rest of the teams that they're playing for the rest of the year are below them in terms of standings in their conference. So it'll be interesting to see how they finish off the season.
If they
hopefully
don't play
strong.
below their,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not below
opponents.
expectations. Now, moving on to Saturday, heading into the actual weekend, men's lacrosse will face, like I mentioned, their first exhibition against Seton Hill at noon. Now, I want to talk about that clip that Nick Milliron gave us, and it's good to see this team going hard in even a practice. They were sharp. They moved and they were aggressive, even though it's
confident.
practice.
And I've seen classes with the guys, and they seem like they're ready to go. They seem confident and trying to get last year out of their heads and this year in their heads.
Definitely, it's good to see them so focused on this upcoming season. Now, next, women's basketball at MSM Mount St. Mary's. The men's team just lost to them, unfortunately, in disappointing fashion. That game will be at 1 o'clock.
And then men's lacrosse has their second 2 exhibition games Saturday. 3 p.m. they will take on Mercyhurst. And women's hockey again at Syracuse. We'll see if Colonials are going to have to rebound or if they're going to extend their winning streak as they take on Syracuse for the second time at 3 p.m.
Yep, and then the final game of the weekend, men's hockey at Holy Cross. Like we mentioned before, they will play earlier, 24 hours earlier, and see if they can build off of that potential win that they have. Like I mentioned before, it'll be interesting
this
to see.
Weekend. Pretty
big for Colonial Sports. We have first games for men's lacrosse, and then we have important games for both women's and men's hockey.
And last year, the men's lacrosse team struggled against Seton Hill, I believe, in their exhibition games. Another chance. They always take on the Seton Hill program.
Shot at redemption.
Chance. It is exhibition, but it is when you play an exhibition game that doesn't go so well and that leaves you some bad taste, but then a good. We can't emphasize how great an exhibition game is leading, because they play some tough opponents.
Yeah, exhibition games as a whole in any sport are really underappreciated. It's sort of that they don't count towards your record, but that's your feeler for how ready you are for the season.
You practice against yourselves, and you come in with a Division III team.
Yeah, how well you do that is going to be a determining factor.
And that is all the time we have on Colonial Sports Center this evening. But stay tuned like every Thursday, or not stay tuned, come back every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. for another edition next week.
We do it every week, fellas.